On December 21st, 2020, something pretty phenomenal happened in the heavens. The Great Conjunction. Do you know what it means in astronomical terms? And what are the astrologists saying? Could something like this make a physical change of the world as we know? If you enjoy this kind of videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. In 1610, Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei pointed his telescope to the night sky, discovering the four moons of Jupiter. In that same year, Galileo also discovered a strange oval surrounding Saturn, which later observations determined to be its rings. These discoveries changed how people understood the far reaches of our solar system. 13 years later, in 1623, the solar system's two giant planets, Jupiter and Saturn, traveled together across the sky. Jupiter caught up to and passed Saturn in an astronomical event known as the Great Conjunction. The planets regularly appear to pass each other in the solar system, with the positions of Jupiter and Saturn being aligned in the sky about once every 20 years. What makes this year's spectacle so rare then? It's been nearly 400 years since the planets passed this close to each other in the sky, and nearly 800 years since the alignment of Saturn and Jupiter occurred at night, as it happened in 2020, allowing nearly everyone around the world to witness this great conjunction. Jupiter and Saturn appeared extraordinarily close to one another on December 21st, 2020, just 0.06 degrees apart, in fact, which is less than a tenth the size of the full moon in the sky. The two bright planets were nearly indistinguishable to the naked eye. Some people believe such a great conjunction was responsible for the Star of Bethlehem, followed by the three wise men in the Bible story, hence its nickname, the Christmas Star. And at the next great conjunction, on October 31st, 2040, the planets will be separated by a greater distance, 1.1 degrees. That means this year's event was truly a once-in-a-lifetime astronomical occasion. According to a lot of experts, this rare celestial event that was visible around the world is sure to carry some powerful energy. Actually, the planets met together at 29 degrees Aquarius, so they'll also be hanging around the same spot in the zodiac. You've probably heard somebody talk about the Aquarian age. It refers to Earth's presence in the sign of Aquarius, where we'll hang out for roughly the next 1250 years. Let's say this again, more than 1,000 years. Great conjunctions are usually pretty good at ushering in change, even when they aren't this close. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look back at the last few cycles. 2000, beginning of the age of the internet. 1980, new wave movement in art and fashion. 1960. JFK is elected president. The Vietnam Civil War erupts. Eisenhower signs the Civil Rights Act. 1940. Hattie McDaniel becomes the first black woman to win an Oscar. Okay, but what about the last time Saturn and Jupiter joined in the sky at 0.1 degrees? Well, think about the 1400s, the end of the Dark Ages and the dawning of the Renaissance. We saw global mass creation on every level: art, architecture, music, theater, government. Now, think of those innovations within the context of community-oriented Aquarius. Think less hierarchy, more collective conscious. The Age of Aquarius signals a shift from oppression and scarcity into a world where all voices are valued, where power is shared by the collective instead of a few privileged ones. Sounds so great, even as science fiction, knowing what 2020 has brought to almost every one of us. And now just like and subscribe, and maybe share your thoughts to get an access to all of the actual knowledge of this world.